Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Saturday Smackdown, this time for the week. Let's check my phone. Saturday, of course, the 25th of October. As if I didn't think it might... Saturday. Why did I have to check that? Anyway, 25th of October, everybody, 2014. This is game number 3 in the best of 7 series between Aizamk and Mitoe. On the map, Mongolia today, spawning in the east of the map. In the colour teal. Hopefully I got east correct. I'm fairly certain this is the east. Yes, yeah. Whilst I was talking, it was hard to think. Yes! Here we have, indeed, Mitoe playing as the German, starting with just 2 wood crates there. I always like to point them out, though. Yeah, Germany, not too bad for... Well, I was going to mention that Germany, you know, they only get the 1 scouting unit, much like a lot of civilizations, and on this map you do get an extra one, which is why I'd say this is a good map for Germany, just on that, but, you know, we'll get into actual specifics, I suppose, in just a moment. But obviously, Spain, on the other side of the map, here he is, Aizamk, in the colour blue. Yes. What do you think?
So I was just watching Mitoe's opening there. I'm not sure which side Steve was watching, but Mitoe's opening was so beautiful to watch. It was like the efficiency of his explorer and like just with all his actions was so good. He used his crack shot to kill the Guardian on the 50 wood, just so it would go on cooldown, and so that he could have that for another good Guardian at some point in the near future. Didn't pick up the treasure by walking his, Explorer the extra 6 or so seconds. Because at first when I saw him do that, I thought, ooh, that's a mistake. You should almost always go for the scout first. But then I realized, he's going to use his crack shot, going to put it on cooldown, and then he's going to go pick up the scout, and then go back and pick up the wood treasure. Yeah. Just like little things like that.
That is, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's a dance. It's like... it's a really, what is the word? But choreography, that word.
Choreography.
Whoa, we see a livestock pen.
Yeah, he's got himself a livestock pen as a result of it. And he's got enough cows to justify it at this point. I mean, he's already picked up what looks like 8 yaks.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching Game 3. It is concluded. The player with the most cows, #cowhacks, wins. Though, actually, they're not cows, they're yaks, so...
They're yaks on this map.
Yeah,
so.
yak hacks is not a thing. I'm sorry. So actually, the game has not been decided. Ignore me. That's
I'm wondering if Mitoe's going to gather this wood for his hunting dogs. This might seem a little excessive. He's probably going to have to do like an 18 pop Vil age up. Either that, or he's going to have to eat like 2 cows. Which I mean, yeah, he just built the livestock pen, right? And so we can already see he's eating one of the cows here, which. Obviously, when you have the livestock pen, it makes them fatten up really quick.
There's still 3 slots on there. He could have put it there.
Yeah, you'd rather not have to eat your cow like that.
Yeah, no.
He's going to have his hunting dogs now, but it's going to slow him down quite a bit, to be perfectly honest. And I'm not sure about that. I mean, obviously, he built a market so that he could use the starting 100 coin crate to buy 100 wood, which then in turn gave him the resources to build the livestock pen. I'm not sure that continuing to get hunting dogs was... I mean, hunting dogs is always good. Getting ecotechs is always good. But I'm not so sure about it here. I really liked his start, but... and he's pulling even a second cow off just so that he can age up
first. Yeah, maybe he's trying to compensate for the fact that he doesn't want to make an extra villager. Because I mean, 200 wood down on a livestock pen is a lot, and I'm also sort of thinking, he could have made a trading post at 200 wood. It just seems like that's a very interesting decision to go for. We'll see what he chooses to do. Obviously, getting the hunting dogs as well slows him down to the next stage. I think he's compensating. He's eating the cows to catch up in terms of the food gather time he lost collecting wood and all sorts and stuff like that. But I did see that Aizamk picked himself up 90 wood and now going to pick himself up oh no, that's Mitoe, going to pick up an 85 wood treasure day. What do we see down here?
Oh wow, he's got a bunch of the cows here in the back. Did he steal those?
He just stole those.
Did he? Whoa, some like next level cow collecting skills. This reminds me of Boning, who doesn't search his own base for his cows, he searches his opponent's base for the cows return.
Yeah. And the thing is, he has high incentive to get those back. Normally, I would take the lazy route and I would just delete those and be like, okay, well, like you don't get them. Like
he does. Okay.
That's what I would have done immediately.
Yeah.
But it looked like he momentarily considered.
I think he did.
The fact of trying to like finagle them all the way around. Oh my god, how funny would it be if this villager? Oh, this dog's gonna see it, and the villager.
Flare it. What are you talking about, Zuta?
the dog sees it, and the villager's gonna go eat them.
Oh, okay, so he does get to sort of use them. There's not a huge amount of food left in there. They do decay fairly quickly. Obviously, he'd prefer them alive. I think all of those villagers are going to go over there. That's definitely worth it. I mean, cows, you collect from cows at a rate of 2 food per second. Hunts is 0.83, so definitely worth doing that.
Yeah. It's hilarious, though.
It's, yeah, I must admit, though, Mitoe, adding in a trading post as well, like, he is... He's very wood heavy in this early portion of the game.
Yeah, he's got Fortress on his mind for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe he thinks he can get away with all of this wood, spending like a livestock pen, all of this stuff, because he's against Spain, who is perhaps not so good.
I mean, Spain's probably not going to just like rush you down.
No, Spain's still quite scary though. It can be. I just think it's just not as good on TAD. It still can do stuff though. It's still strong.
I mean, their FF is still like kind of like a one-trick pony, I'm going to try and kill you and win type thing, but I don't know. It's not nearly as scary as it is.
Dude, on TAD, right, all of the TAD players, when I came to TAD and I was playing Spain, because that was my favorite civ, that's what I like to do, I was playing Spain on TAD, doing the fast forward. All of these TAD players, they just don't know how to deal with it. They're like, Spain? You're just going to lose, bro. But then you pull off some really nice fast fortress, you get the build order down perfectly, you do everything correctly, it's really strong, and often because these people aren't used to seeing seeing Spain on TAD, they don't respond to it in the way that they should, and they can actually get face rolled because of that. But I think Mitoe quite a strong player. Whether or not he will, that will be a thing in this game. Who knows? I don't know.
There's a couple guys, a couple JP guys who play a lot of Spain. There's this guy named Piroshiki, I think is how you say his name, who plays a lot of quick search, and he plays like he only plays Spain, like literally only plays Spain. He's played 10,000 games with Spain in his life.
10,000 games as Spain, that guy. Wow, he's definitely got a passion or some patience. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, but the thing is, he does the same build every single time.
Oh, he definitely enjoys that then. We've got some cavalry coming in here, forcing the villagers into the town center. Lots of villagers on the coin mine. He's getting a nice position there. Can he attack? Might be able to kill one. There's quite a lot of hand damage. Gonna kill the one settler there. Definitely better than I thought he would. I mean, Aizamk calling the Minutemen to push them off as well. I think it's just okay. I mean, you think about it, each Yulan there is worth 100 coin and 50 food, and the Minutemen cost him 300 overall. I think he managed to kill maybe 2. I don't know. Minutemen may be an over-exaggeration. Who knows? But I was going to say something. Yes, have you seen the shipments Aizamk has been sending? Steve, switch over to the shipments tab on the far right. Jeez, lots of villagers.
I was just going to comment on that. I think he got greedy. I think he was hoping that he probably had scouted what Mitoe had done with the whole market and livestock pen and like trading posts. Probably thought, well, he's not going to have, he's not going to have units surely, and so he just didn't make the 700 coin shipment, which you would normally do first, and thought, well, I'll just get away with it by going 5 bill, 4 bill, and then 700 would, and just gather that coin. And as a result, we can see his coin level is very, very low, and I mean, Mitoe's already aging, and this is going to be a very, very difficult game for Aiz to win. He's quite significantly far behind in age up time, and I don't know, he might not even be able to gather enough resources to get aged up.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be very late aged if Fast Fortress was something he had on his mind. You take over.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to be really late, basically. He doesn't even now have the resources. He's still 200 coin away, 200 food away, and he doesn't really have any hunts available to him. Yeah, it sounded like you momentarily died.
I muted the microphone when I cough. It's not pleasant for you guys to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, we see a very interesting shipment there. He's sent Royal Decree
to claim the Decree to the New World.
This is, and he's almost got 1,000 wood for it, has he? This is not something you'd ever see. The only reason you send this, the only actual legitimate play that this, are you researching what this gives you, Zuta? Did I hear someone typing to find out what this is?
No, I don't know what it does.
Okay, you get Quarterphage, which is 13 guard halberdiers for 1,000 wood. The only time that is ever used, to my memory, is in vanilla, where you play against Dutch specifically, and you'll get your colonial age tower up behind the Dutch player's base, and then you'll send that literally as the first thing. Like, as soon as you hit Fortress, you send 13 guard halves and just tear down their town center before they're even aged. And of course, that's pretty. Dutch will be aging most of the time then, but that's not this matchup here. I have no idea what he's going to do with it.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
we all know
13 halves is not very good for.
It's going to be versus like 20 skirmishers.
And they cost wood.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty awkward to say the least. Yeah, I think there's probably he just dies here. I mean, he's not even going to get aged up and like get out any units or anything. Like, I think he's just dead.
No, there is another upgrade in there that increases the hit points much in the same way the British one does. But there's no infantry. There's nothing on the board here to help him do that. Perhaps he thought that Mitoe would be playing so much more boomy and that he could pull off something interesting. I just don't know what he'd do with halberdiers. I am very interested. I'm going to have to ask him, like, did he have something absolutely outrageous in mind that could have been pretty cool? Maybe some sort of, I mean, is he going, no, he's going to Fortress.
I mean, I think he just realized he's really far behind, and he had, the only resource he really had available to gather was wood, and so that's just what came to mind, but
I see.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah. I was going to point out maybe he wanted to go into the Industrial Age and obviously get the Hackapels, but they're also 2,000 wood for wild geese isn't actually that good either. But interesting. I think you're right there with regards to why he did that. I was going to say something really interesting. Oh yes, the reason he's behind, he sent all of these villager shipments. He just didn't get up quick enough. He was being perhaps a bit greedy, but doing that, sending these villagers in response to the slow start of the German.
Here it comes.
About to pop out of this outpost here, going to do tons of damage to these war wagons. Of course, they have an absolutely huge damage multiplier versus the cavalry of all description. 32 times 2, going to do lots of damage. Tear these down. Of course, these are 300 resources each, but ultimately, just get the war wagons out of there, and skirmishers can do times 2. But actually, these halberdiers, they have a pretty big hand attack, right? They're performing a similar function to hussars against these skirmishers, though they do not move as quickly.
The fort wagon.
What?
Fort wagon. Oh my
Such wagon. Wow.
He's gonna do it. Oh man.
Is he?
That's just a way to say, like, okay, we're just gonna make you like suffer for the next 10 minutes of your life. Please.
Is this the H3 equivalent of hiding a TC in the corner of the map right now?
It's pretty bad.
This is what you would do to prolong the game as much as you physically could, yeah.
So that building that he's building right now, Costa Shipment, okay, he's just seen it now. It's got even more hit points than a town center, and it has like 150 attack with like splash.
Dude,
it does have a lot. It has a lot of damage.
It's a castle. Just to say that.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's a huge ass castle.
Yeah.
And it takes forever to kill, and it does a lot of damage. But I mean, look at the place he's got it. It's like in the back of space where it's not going to protect anything.
And it takes times 4 damage during foundation phase, so as you can see, it's been fully constructed at most of its hit points gone. I think.
I don't know that he can siege it down with these skirms though.
No,
I'm fairly certain he can.
It's just skirmishers just don't have the siege potential required here. What is he playing for though? Is there any reason that he's 1,000 wood on the floor now? What the? Does he want to revolt? No, he's not aged. I do not know. This is out of character for Ace, I must say. But
Mitoe has finally realized how much damage he's taking.
And he might be able to get the repair on that, though it is fairly expensive to repair. Some rod arrows now out. I would be absolutely, like, it would mind-bogglingly. I think I would. We see an artillery foundry. Definitely gonna start. No, this is not winnable now. Like, he's gonna start pulling out falconets. He's got the economy behind him for that. German economy is so strong.
I think he's just gonna make petards, honestly.
Oh yeah, I guess that would bring it down.
He can just like petard his whole base and just bring down the TC, bring down the towers, bring down the fort, and then there's just nothing that they. I mean, there's nothing that they can do. He's actually making units out of the fort. Like
he might. Well, yeah, it's like it's a production facility.
Yeah,
right? Like you're gonna use it.
Oftentimes we forget that the fort is actually a production facility.
Yeah.
Or at least I forget.
Yeah.
But
Lancer's now out, doing some damage to those skirmishers, doing work, but ultimately the war wagons are just way too good for him. Yeah, I'm tempted to, you know, I'm thinking Mitoe will probably send 1,000 coin at some point, if it's in his deck, so he can actually make Falconets out of there as well. Obviously, Petsar is going to be useful. Here we see 2 now coming in. 2 Falconet shipment pops out of the tower there, and it's going to get absolutely wrecked by the...
Couple veteran ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at these 2 Petards, here they go. They're on a mission. The fort is repairing though as well.
Yeah. Do they have enough? He's trying to shoot down the Petards.
He's trying to block the pathing.
he's
doing a
he's
pretty good job
body blocking. Body blocking with cannons. Have you seen such madness?
There they are.
3. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if that'll bring it down.
No, I don't think it will.
No.
I think he killed one of the Petards before it actually ignited.
He's still in the game. Look at his score. It's not that far behind, but it has been incredibly inflated by Guard Halberdier.
By Guard Halberdiers,
yeah.
And outposts and forts and stuff
you
like
get
that.
like Guard Halberdiers is you get Veterancy out Halberdiers. This is 4 points of score. Guard, which is 12 points of score extra. Here's some more Petards
Here come
coming
the more
in.
Petards. Now the fort. The fort is being repaired once again, but it looks like he's just going to.
This is madness, Zuta. What is going on?
And I mean, at the end of all of this, AZ is down to 15 mils. So, regardless of the fact that he has stayed alive in his base with a fort, a church, and a town center, and 2 outposts for this long, well, here comes another town center. Yeah, he's in essentially an unwinnable position. Mitoe could just like build 3 TCs of his own. If I were on ladder and a guy were doing this to me on ladder, instead of trying to finish the game, I would like
trade Monopoly.
I would like trade Monopoly, or I would I don't know. I'd go to H4 and like get spies, or go to H5 and get spies and like make him suffer. If you're gonna make me suffer, I'm gonna make you suffer.
Yeah, this is so out of character for Ace to do something like this. I am tempted to believe that he still thinks there's a chance. It just doesn't look like there is in any way at all. Going to bring that cannon through the gate there so it can't get... Oh, White goes down. He really needs to conserve absolutely everything if he thinks he can get back in this. But I've seen Ace do it before versus me, though. I'm not quite as good as, say, Mitoe. But certainly, I've had Ace after actually doing the Halberdier strategy that I mentioned earlier. He bring in some Halbs, tear down that town center before the Dutch player can even age, and then they're sitting there in their base with essentially nothing, just some banks, and yeah, he managed to pull it back from a situation that sort of does look like this. So I think Ace, you know, he definitely may have been I don't know what he was thinking. I really have no idea after seeing this anyway. But
I think he just tried a different build, and he lost the cows, and like I don't know, maybe he was hoping to use like the villagers gathering the cows to like get him aged up faster and stuff. And his build, this was one of those instances where Ace does an Ace build, it doesn't work, and it shows. Let's just leave it at that.
I think we've seen a couple of games. Well, a game. There's one game springs to mind, at least, that I'm thinking of where what you just said is especially true as well. But that does indeed, ladies and gentlemen, conclude game number 3 in this series. We have Mitoe, the teal player, picking up his first victory as the Germans. Fairly convincing.